Welcome to Make Up Your Mind. I'm Amberp, makeup artist and IFBB Bikini Pro. I wanted to create a safe space for women to have deep conversations about life and mindset. So come hang out with me while I get ready for the day and chat about whatever is on my mind. AmFam, what is up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Make Up Your Mind. This is a series that I started fall of last year, 2022, very near and dear to my heart because it is two things that I am very passionate about: makeup and mindset. I unfortunately haven't done one of these since, spring. Listen, timing is everything. We can have ideas, but sometimes with those ideas, we don't realize that maybe that's not something we need to be implementing right now. Maybe that idea is a good idea, but you just need to sit on it. That's what this was. Make Up Your Mind was a fantastic idea. However, when I started it, wasn't the best timing. God's timing is what's best, and then also trying to sort out a good idea from God ideas. However, that's a whole nother episode for a whole nother time. If you are new here, basically what this is my podcast, my platform, my series where I do my makeup and talk about whatever topics are on my mind. Like I said, I'm really big on mindset. Mindset is something that I have worked so hard on, and I also know that my mindset is the reason why I was able to achieve my pro card. So with that being said, I'm going to be talking about something today that has just been, it's taken days and days and days. And I even have the timeline. This is probably going to be a long episode. So if you're doing cardio, if you're driving, you're cleaning your house, whatever the case may be, girl, get ready because this is going to be a good one. But these events happened over a course of days. And also keep in mind, it's not so much about the makeup that I'm putting on my face. All products will be down below in the description box. So let me pull my mic up one more time because there will be somebody that asks, what was that? What was this? All products will be listed down below in the description box. I don't mind answering y'all questions, but sometimes people be asking like, hey, what was that? And it's clear and plain as day. Like, y'all just go look in the description bar because it's there. And now if I happen to miss something, hit your girl up, let me know, call me out. I have no problems going back. However, all products are where? In the description box. All right, let's get into it. Trust versus faith. Man. I posted the other day that getting my pro card is one of the most biggest accomplishments and by far one of the most difficult accomplishments. But with that, it changed my life big time. And it's not even in the ways that most people think, right? A lot of people think that, oh, when you become a pro, everything gets easier. You're going to have brands knocking your door down, wanting to work with you. The clouds are going to part. The Red Sea is going to open up. You're going to become a freaking millionaire and everyone's going to want you. Nah, the only thing that has changed is that I'm a pro. That's that. That is not what it did for me. What it did for me up here mentally was made me realize, and I've always said this about bodybuilding, if you can make it to stage, you can literally do anything. The confidence that bodybuilding has given me, incredible. And so getting my pro card just elevated me that much more because I've been on this grind. I've been trying this and working my behind off for the past 4 years, testing out the new Fenty stick. I got shade 21. 20 is my true shade. I absolutely love the eavesdrop and I do 20 in this one. However, if you've been following my makeup content, then you know that I don't want it to look so warm. I just want it to look more neutral. So that's why I went with 21. But getting my pro card just elevated my mindset to a whole nother level, because now I'm just kind of like, yo, legit. I knew before bodybuilding gave me a newfound confidence, but now that I have my pro card, it just made me realize even more, okay, you can legit do anything, truly anything you put your mind to. And that is how it changed my life, because my mind, I truly realized what I was capable of and what I could truly do. Oh, that blended out nice. Okay, work. I like it. And also, I am someone who is very spiritual. I do not mind talking about God. I am never the person that pushes my beliefs onto other people, because that's not how I roll. I truly believe that if you want someone to go to God, then you need to act godly. Just be kind. That's it. Because when you look at Jesus and how he acted with people, like literally out there in the trenches, he was kind to everybody. He didn't care where you came from, who you came from, what you've been through. He was just kind to everybody. That's how I operate. That's why I always make it a point. I'm a nice person, but I always will make it a point to be kind. And I can toot my own horn and say, if you've ever met me in person, then you know that's true. That's just how I am. And so something that I am doing recently now, and it's not that I wasn't myself before, but I noticed that I was definitely censoring myself. Now, baby, ain't no more censoring. I have released my true 100% self. Like during my prep series, y'all got to see a whole new side of me. So now I ain't got nothing else to hide. I'm out here bare ass. And that's the other thing too. I rock with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. I cuss, all right? I'm human. I'm not perfect. So if that bothers you or ruffles your feathers, I'm not going to apologize, because I'm not sorry. All right? But anywho, I talk about my spirituality because it is something that is very important and near and dear to my heart. So for this episode, trust versus faith. I was watching a video and it made me realize, okay, I have faith. Faith comes easy to me. Faith is, and I went and did a little Google, because the concept of it really just got me going, right? If I'm looking down because I have my notes, I don't want to miss anything. So faith, the definition when I put in Google: complete trust or confidence in someone, strong belief in God or religion. And then the biblical definition of faith is being able to believe in something without sight, without being able to see it. This is the new Makeup Forever HD concealer. I love the foundation. This is also my first time trying this. The shade range for this is whack, though. I pray they have more shades online. This is 4.0Y. So faith, I believe, has always been easy for me, because I, as a child, always had a big imagination. I'm very creative. So believing in things that I can't see, easy. That ain't no problem. Now, switching over. Trust. Strong belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. So I read that, and so the definition that Google gives, these are, okay, this shade isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. All right, work. Cool. So reading the definition, going back and forth between the two, pretty similar, right? And not the biblical definition of faith, just like reading what it says. So Google definition: strong belief in reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. That's trust. Faith, complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Very, very similar. However, I came to terms with why trust for me personally is so difficult. for me, trust, when I'm able to trust in something, I can tangibly see it. I can see that this is trustworthy. I can trust in this person. I can trust in X, Y, and Z. A lot of times when we are prepping, getting ready for a competition, we always say, trust the process, right? I can trust the process even when I can't see it because I've done it before. I have trust in myself and I have trust in my coach. So therefore, trusting the process ain't no problem. So you see what I mean? Faith is believing in something without seeing it, and I can do that. But for me, trust is more difficult because for me, trust has to be visible. I have to visibly see that I can put my trust into someone, something, whatever the case may be. All right, cool. So we got that down. So I had been pondering on that because I realized, oh girl, you still got more work to do. That's the thing. You are never done growing. There is always something to be working on. And I saw an interesting concept that's been floating around also because I watch a lot of like mindset, psychology, personal development stuff, but sometimes too much personal development, I can see how it could be a hazard to you because you shouldn't be an ongoing science project all the time, right? Because that'll drive you crazy and that's not healthy. Too much of anything ain't healthy, all right? So you never want to be in that rat race of constantly like, oh my gosh, I need to be developing. I need to be constantly working on myself. Like, yes, work on yourself, but then also big yourself up. Give yourself props. You know, there's time and place for everything. So recently, I have been extremely confused in the direction of my career and business. And it's so interesting because right before my pro debut, I just had this wild feeling, this inkling. I could feel that a shift was coming and it was strong, baby. It was a strong hold on me. Like that shift had me in a chokehold, okay? I knew it was coming. I didn't know what it was, but what I did know was to not ask any questions, to not lean on my own understanding, and to have faith. See, it wasn't trust, to have faith in God. So I just told myself, okay, cool. I don't know what this is, this feeling that I have right now, but we gonna roll with it. I got faith in God. I'm on a high right now. You know, I just got my pro card, about to do my pro debut. Everything's great. Adrenaline's kicking and pumping. We Gucci, right? All right. So, after the pro debut, after I decided to call the season quits, not do Nashville Fit Show, you know, after a prep, some people, they call it some people do get post-show blues. I don't get post-show blues because I'm never someone that struggles with that, so therefore I can't relate to that. But prep can definitely be a buffer and make you not pay attention to other things that are going on in life. And that has happened to me after every single prep. I can't sit here and lie about it. It has. So now that I'm not in the threshold of prep, I'm looking at things and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just real. I'm no longer working at Macy's. I am full on 100% in my business, Amberp Beauty, growing that, stage glam, you know, doing what I can to just, you know, kick it to the next level. But even still with that, I just kind of like, I don't know, man. I had talked about it on my Instagram story about just because you love something don't necessarily mean it should be a business. What is wrong with doing something for the love of it? I still stand by that, and I still feel that way in regards to my artistry. My artistry, my stage glam, that is near and dear to my heart. I love that with every fiber in me. That is my passion. There's just something, it is so fulfilling. It feels so good to help athletes get to the stage. I don't care if it's your first show or if you're getting ready to step on the Olympia stage. I absolutely love it. I am the fairy glam mama. for bodybuilding, period, okay? So that is so fulfilling to me. But what I realized was happening was I was starting to get in that same perpetual rat race of the salon. And I did not want that for my passion. I did not want that for my baby. I did not want that stress. Oops, I just put my powder on and I forgot I got a cream bronzer in here. Oh well, whatever. We're gonna break all the rules. And so I just had to truly ask myself, okay, let's assess your business. I have made so many mistakes in my business. So many mistakes. And one of the things that became stressful with the salon, especially after Rona, like, let's face it, beauty is a luxury. Getting your hair colored is a luxury. You don't have to go get your hair colored. You don't have to go get your hairstyle. You don't have to go get your makeup done. These things are a luxury. So I understood right away with the situation of the Rona that my business changed dramatically. I was not as busy as I was used to. Everything was just different, and it became extra stressful. It got down to the point of, okay, how many heads do I have to touch in order to pay my bills? And I did not want my makeup artistry to become that. I did not want to be counting how many faces I have to touch in order to pay my bills. That is stressful for me. You guys, I lived that life for 10 years. And here's the thing. I never, the whole 10 years I was in salon, never knowing how much income you were going to make is stressful. Again, loved what I was doing. I still love the beauty industry. I still love doing hair. You know, it just changed just due to the nature of the situation. But I was just kind of like, hold on, fam. Like, this can't be life right here. Is this really how things are going to be? Is this really how I'm going to have to do it? So I didn't. And then also with salon, y'all know, like, my body couldn't take it anymore. Like, I did hair last week from 9 to 6:30. When I tell you I was a wreck when I got home, I was like, ooh, pleasant reminder, okay? And so I never wanted my artistry to become that because I love it so much. And so then I started thinking, okay, what can I do then for this business? How else can I make money for it if I am not going to, if I don't bank on my artistry? Then the other thing is, okay, cool, build a beauty team. Here's the thing with that. Building a beauty team was never anything that I truly desired. Even having my own salon wasn't anything that I desired. Do I think that one day I will have my own little situation? Yes, I do. But again, timing. And so I also listen to you guys. I listen to the athletes. And one common thing that I would hear a lot is, I love booking with you because I know I'm getting you. And here's the thing. My business is Amberp Beauty. I am the face of my business, you know? And I get it. I am not the most talented makeup artist in the world. I am not the most talented makeup artist within the bodybuilding industry. I'm very well aware of that. Baby, listen, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. The other girls that have been doing it, their work is impeccable. They do a damn good job. And I love that. And the other thing is, we need more makeup artists within the bodybuilding niche because, first of all, you can't serve everybody. And secondly, different styles and different taste, right? And so I know that 80% of the reason why athletes book with me is just simply because they like me. That I know that's the core reason why. And then the other 20% is, oh yeah, I like how you do makeup too. And I'm cool with it. I'm good with it. But hearing athletes tell me, I like booking with you because I know I'm going to get you, that right there let me know that building a team that's not the direction I need to go, because that would change the trajectory, that word, of my business. Yes, I do have my assistant. I love Olivia with all my heart and soul. Olivia's amazing. Alexis even helps me sometimes. Like, I know if I was ever in a pickle, if I needed Jordan to help me, she gonna help me. Like, I got my people that I know if I like truly am in a pickle and need some help, they gonna come help me. You know, I can depend on them, which is great. And so, like, you know, having that additional help is not a beauty team. It's just having someone there assisting and helping me. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want my artistry to be the overhaul of the business. The artistry is for me. That part of the business is for me. I don't want to build a beauty team. The other part of Amberp Beauty that I have been sitting on for 2.5 years cannot be done right now, because it is going to require a hell of a lot of capital. And baby, I just don't got it. I don't have it, and that's okay. Right now, God's going to provide. I am trusting that. I got faith in it, but I'm trusting that. So now I understand, okay, well, until that time comes, you just got to keep working, keep doing what you're doing, and rest. You got to keep working, keep doing what you're doing. Try not to stress yourself out, heavy on the try, because baby, listen, once that mind starts going in the middle of the night, you start spiraling. But anywho, so between August 6th or 7th, I had noticed my mindset was starting to slip. I was not very sharp mentally. This is bronzy. Holy cannoli, I'm bronze. Okay, work, whatever, girl. You're good, you're good. And whenever I get confused, the first thing I do, full stop. Because God is not the what? Author of confusion. And when I start to feel confused and crazy like that, I have to recluse. My misery don't like company. My misery likes isolation. I need to sort my thoughts out. And when I get real confused, it also lets me know I can't hear God. And when I can't hear God properly, I get freaked out. Because I understand that when I can't hear God, I'm going to start operating in my own will. And every single time I have operated in my own will, shit goes left. Poorly, piss poor, bad, not good, horrible, awful, the pits, all of the above. It never ends well for me. So I did what I need to do. I did what I know to do, excuse me. First thing is get off social media. Back up. Because it's tricky. I utilize social media for my job. I mean, my job basically is social media, you know? And again, too much of a good thing is too much. There's so much information, so many people, and just constantly so much junk coming at you all the time, to the point where it can just cloud your thoughts and you can't hear properly. And that's where I was. I felt very clouded. And I knew that if I made any decisions while feeling clouded, if I tried to operate in that clouded headspace, won't nothing good going to come of that. And then also, when I start to get in that clouded headspace, that's when I start to operate in my OG scarcity mindset. That is something that I've had to break, because whenever I go back to those habits of scarcity mindset, I'll start reaching for whatever. I'll start creating something new. I'm not being focused. I'm not sticking to the plan because I'm scared and I'm freaking out. That's one thing about me. And I have basically lived my life in survival mode for so long, not realizing that, hey, that's not healthy. No more surviving mode. It's time to thrive. You feel me? So realizing that, I know, all right, it's time to isolate. It's time to get quiet. It's time to go outside on your walks, because God speaks to me when I'm outside and at night when I'm in my bed. That's when he talks to me. That's when I can hear. And this is something that I just like in the gym, reps in the gym, because I saw someone, I don't know if it was a video or something. It was like how to hear God. And that's something that's very intimate. That's something that's very unique to everyone, because your relationship with God is going to be different from the next person, you know? So these are things that I have learned over the past 10, 11 years. You just have to put in the reps. You got to spend time and figure you out and figure out when it's God and not you. But I believe somewhere between August 6th, August 7th, I was in my bed. I was watching a video, and clear as day, God said, stop, put it down. And I said, huh? It freaked me out. I got nervous. I was like, what was that? That taught me how to know when it's a God thought and when it's an Amber thought. When it's a God thought, it'll interrupt me and come out of nowhere. I won't thinking about nothing. I wasn't in my head. I was simply watching a video. So in that moment, I knew, oh snap. Whenever God speaks to me, he will interrupt me. He don't care what I'm doing. It'll just be full stop, boom, and I will hear it clear as day. And it freaks me out every once in a while. I'm not going to lie. However, I'm learning to lean into it. I am learning to be okay with it. And he said, stop, put it down. And I immediately started crying. Because, mind you now, don't you love it when old Southern heads say that? Mind you now, mind you now, I had already made peace with the fact that my artistry is not the bread and butter of my business. And so as soon as I heard stop, put it down, I knew what he was referencing. And in my bed, I said, no, 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 no. I was arguing with God. Yes, I talk to God just like I talk to y'all. He knows. He created me, right? And so in bed, I said, no, no, no. And I started crying because I knew exactly what he was talking about. Put it down. Put trying to grow and scale your business down right now, because I got something else that you need to do. That doesn't mean stop. It doesn't mean give up. See, at first I was just so confused. Like, you want me to stop everything that I've built, everything that I've done, or what is happening? Hold on. Like, oh, wait a minute now. It's like you guys have you seen that meme or that picture where it's Jesus and a little girl, and the little girl has a small teddy bear in her hand, and God's telling her, no, give it away. You don't need it. And behind God's back is a bigger teddy bear. That's exactly how I felt in that moment. So he's telling me to put it down. And I understand why he's telling me to put it down, because he's got something else. And I can't get back to growing and scaling that part of my business until I put it down for a second and focus on what it is that he's telling me to do. So I had to sit with that one, and I had to wrestle it. I'm not stopping, and if anyone's listening, I'm not stopping stage glam, okay? And I talked about this to you on my Instagram. Like, I do stage glam for the love. I don't do stage glam for the money. Yes, it is part of my business. Yes, it's got overhead. It's just kind of like, I don't make a ton of money off of stage glam. In fact, there are some shows, just depending on how far I have to travel and like how long the show is. Like, if it's a 2-day show or a 3-day show, forget it. I'm not making any money off of it. So all the athletes' money that they pay me for their glam, it goes to my travel and booking my hotel. That's it, So I'm still doing stage glam because that fulfills me, that fuels me, that's my passion, and I love it. And so I made peace with it. I said, okay, God, all right. I ain't gonna ask no questions, big dog, because last time I ain't listened to you, things did not turn out so well for me. I am finally now coming out from the last time I did not listen to you. So I was like, all right, cool, bet, got it. Now going back to that video in bed, I was watching, Deborah, if I can remember, I'll link her down below in the notes. But I was watching one of her videos, and she was talking about trust in God. And that was when I had that breakthrough moment that my trust in God was shaky. And that was hard for me to admit, because I got faith all day long, but the trust aspect was a trip. And then, furthermore, listening to it, I got another breakthrough. Sometimes when you don't move when God tells you to, when you're not obedient, he will strip you. He will strip you of everything to get your attention. That is what has happened to me. First, stripped me from the salon industry. All right, cool, whatever. I understand that needed to happen, first of all, for health purposes. And secondly, because it was time, the chapter was time to close. Next thing he stripped me of, Macy's. I knew my time was coming to an end there. I honestly thought I was going to be there much longer than I had expected. They had me on track to have one hell of a promotion at the end of the year. However, for me in my house, I had to be real with myself, and that's not what I wanted. I knew I wouldn't have been happy with that. I'm not a corporate girly. Can y'all see me in corporate? I got too much mouth for that. I ask too many questions. I don't do well with stupidity. If something don't sound right, I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey, why? Because in my, I am so logical sometimes. I can be logical to a fault. And I could see that was definitely a situation that I was dealing with there. I was a little too logical sometimes. And so, stripped me of the salon. All right, cool. That was the June, July 2022. Get a job at Macy's, August. Start moving up very quickly. Strip me of Macy's, July. I could feel it. It was like, it's time for me to go. There's nothing else for me to do here. God gave me an assignment. I did what I was supposed to do here. Now I got to move on from that. Stripped me of Macy's. So I'm like, all right, cool, bet. I'm going to just focus on my artistry. Not stripping me of my artistry and not completely stripping me of my business, but told me to put it down. Just stop, put it down for a moment. So the only thing that is literally left right now is my content creation. It is no secret. I absolutely love creating content. I love YouTube. It has done so much for me and my confidence, my ability to speak, to be natural on camera, how I present myself when I'm out and about. And it's also no secret that this is something that I've wanted to do full time for quite some time now. And so I realized you have literally stripped me of everything but the one true thing that I've always wanted to do and to give my 100% undivided attention to. That was mind-blowing to me. And so, with that, I was getting other things that was said to me. You're not the MUA. You're the talent. And I'll explain that in a moment. You're not the coach. You're the athlete. I've spent so much time of my life watering myself down, being in the background. Don't shine too bright. Don't want to be seen. Those statements basically mean I'm pushing you out into the forefront because I'm putting stuff in you and you need to get this out. I'm using you as a vessel. So therefore, I need for you to stop focusing on trying to grow and scale Amberp Beauty. I got that. I'm going to do that for you. You got to stop and put it down though, because first you got another assignment. And so wrapping my head around the assignment and what he wants me to do, I'm just kind of like, me? You want to utilize me? You want me to be the vessel? But then I had to remember, girl, if he could use a donkey, he could use you too. So I'm like, all right, girl, the head, not the tail. Let's roll. So also with content creation, I am in a space now where, of course, I have been on here for almost 9 years. And y'all know, if you've been rocking with me for quite some time, the growth has been painfully slow for me. I am not an overnight success. There are girls that have been on YouTube just as long as me or a shorter period of time, and these girls are over 500,000 subscribers. That is not my story whatsoever. I am not an overnight success. I am more of a rags. Well, I'm not rich yet, but I'm rich mentally. I'm rich in the mindset, okay? So I am more so of a rags to riches situation. So the interesting thing, this is the Juvia's Place coffee palette. Look how dope that is. The interesting thing about that is with me focusing on creating, because one of my mantras that I have been living by for the past, 7-8 years Inspire, motivate, create. Inspire, motivate, create. That's what I'm put on this earth to do. Inspire, motivate, and create. And understanding that God don't care how I inspire or how I motivate. Basically, whichever one of my gifts or outlets, he don't care. Use those and just make sure that I am inspiring and motivating. So I can do that via makeup. I can do that via bodybuilding. I can do that via on my Instagram, all my social platforms. So understanding that for so long, I've been trying to put myself in a box. So like I can only be the beauty girl, or I can't venture out into, health and yes, I can. Like I'm a certified nutrition coach. I know stuff. I know what I'm talking about. I've been in the field. I've been in the trenches. I've tried things on myself. I have clients. Like I know, you know what I mean? And so sometimes we become a hazard to ourselves, and you just need to turn your mind off and just do it and just go. So now with me understanding my assignment and what it is that he wants me to do, which is inspire, motivate, and create, but do it through your outlets, do it through your YouTube, do it through podcasting, do it through your socials, that also requires me to trust. See how all of that came full circle? That requires me to trust. So I have to surrender, and I have to put it down, not stop it, just put it down. Still do your stage glam, because the cool thing about stage glam is, and just everything that I do, it has to make sense. I've always been that way. Everything that I do has to make sense. And then on top of that, it has to, 1, glorify God, and 2, has to fulfill me. Stage glam, that's my passion. It glorifies God because I am still able to inspire, motivate, and create, and it's fulfilling to me. So you see how that works? And so with that, understanding what it is that I need to do, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not daunting. I honestly wrestled with God. I was like, okay, cool, bet, I got you, big sandals, we Gucci, I know what to do. One day, and then the next day, I found myself negotiating with him, just like that. So, timeline, let me back up really quickly, okay? So, between August 6th and 7th, and the reason why I have a timeline with this is because I journal in the morning, and sometimes I journal at night, and sometimes I do morning and night. So that's why I have a timeline of this, which I think is wild and incredible at the same time. And so August 6th or 7th, somewhere in there, that's when he told me, stop, put it down. August 9th is when I had the breakthrough about how I'm not trusting and how he stripped me of everything. August 10th is when I decided, okay, I gotta surrender. I gotta put it down. I am recording this on Tuesday, August 15th. So now we're at August 14th, which was yesterday, Monday. Was a shit day. Bad day. Baby girl was down bad. The morning started off hellacious. Just not good. And unfortunately, it caused me to spiral. And whenever I feel like that, let me pause for a second. Don't let your emotions outweigh your intelligence. These are some coping mechanisms and some mindset protocols that I have been utilizing on myself. And you cannot operate or function properly when you're on an emotional high. So therefore, when you allow your emotions to outweigh your intelligence, that's when things get dicey. That's when you start acting like not yourself. That's when you start with a scarcity mindset. That's when you start doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing. And that's what happened to me literally 24 hours ago. I had one thing happen yesterday morning at the top of my morning, and then boom, it was just a spiral on and on and on. I spiraled so badly to the point that I wasn't able to get my work done. I was supposed to record this episode and some other stuff yesterday. I had so much content that I was supposed to do yesterday, but because I was in such a shit mood, because I was spiraling, because I didn't get a hold of my mindset in time, because I didn't implement my mindset protocols to keep me on track, I spiraled. And I'm not perfect. I'm a human. And that's the thing. We are all human. We all fall short. Understand that perfection does not exist. If we were perfect, we would be God, and none of us are God. We're going to have those moments. But the key is, I say this all the time, baby, you got to let it be a moment. So with this spiral, I started operating with a scarcity mindset, going back on what God told me to do. I'm sitting here saying, nah, man, I think I might need to go do this other thing, because there's also another massive idea that I have been sitting on legit since February of 2022. And I was going to go ahead and launch this thing, but I said, no, let me hold on real quick, because if God told me to put part of Fenty Beauty down, then I probably don't need to be messing with that right now. He gave me a very clear assignment. Create. All you gotta do is create. You create, I'm gonna do the rest for you. But you can't get this over here if you don't create. The only way that I'm going to bless you with this is if you first trust me, and secondly, you create. You do what I say. I have to use you as a vessel. I have to put words in you to get out here to the people to inspire and motivate them. So I'm like, oh my God. So now me and Big Sandal's going back and forth, okay? And this is wild because the flesh is weak, okay? I know what you told me to do. However, because I am spiraling and I am out of control, and because I was not able to get a hold of my mindset, here we are. Here we are. So I'm doubting, I'm questioning, I'm trying to lean on my own understanding, which is the absolute worst possible thing that you could possibly do. Okay, you guys, so I am going to finish up my eyes, but the rest, I'm still going to be talking, but it's just going to be the voiceover aspect of me. I'm just going to throw me sitting in here talking over me actually doing my eyeshadow. Rocket has entered the building. That's why the door is wide open. All right, so now we have finally arrived to today's date, Tuesday, August 15th. So literally these next few thoughts happened this morning. So woke up, been up since 4:30 a.m. this morning. Murillo and I were both up at 4:30 a.m. I think it's just because, like I said yesterday, it was a rough morning. And so neither one of us really slept that well, but he got up first, and then I woke up and he looked at me and he said, our best bet is to stay up, because you already know if we go back to sleep when the alarms go off, it's going to be hellacious getting up. And I said, you know what? Absolutely correct. So he gets up, showers, I start our coffee, then he comes and finishes up, I get in the shower. And I have been working on just getting my schedule under control, because that's the thing when you work from home, when you work from yourself, you are your own boss. I feel like at one point, it was this whole trend, get him to buy you an LLC. You dumbasses have no idea what comes with that. Yeah, it's all good. The whole entrepreneurship, being your own boss, is so overly glamorized. For me personally, I never had any intentions on being an entrepreneur. That was not my gig. That wasn't my game. I'm a creative. I just like the act of creating. It just so happened that my creativity spilled over into the beauty world, and I had to be my own boss, which made me have to be an entrepreneur, which probably makes sense as to why I made so many bad mistakes, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So with time blocking, I already had my schedule out for today. I know, okay, I want to wake up at this time, do my morning routine, eat my breakfast, go on my walk my dogs, do all of that. There is just so much beauty in waking up early. And also, I'm going to say this. I know it's hard for us to wrap our heads around sometimes. Baby, all things work together for the good. The good, the bad, the horrible, the awful, the indifferent. And it's really difficult when you're going through that storm, when it's just rain, clouds, and doom. You can't see that as a good thing. I know, I've been there, I get it. And you never understand it until you come out of the storm and you see how everything comes together. Stay with me, the Lord's going to bless you. This is going to come together, okay? So, waking up early. I'd already planned on getting up early, but now I am up earlier than expected. And something else that I am understanding is waking up super early really allows me to get a clear head. I'm still doing my journaling, I'm still doing my devotional, but I don't know, just the clarity of it all, waking up at 4:30 versus waking up at 7 or waking up at 6. Now, I'm not going to be waking up at 4:30 all the time. Like that's pushing it. I could do 5:30. 5:30 is fine, but 4:30, I mean, if I feel prompted to, if the Lord wakes me up, or if I wake up on my own and I'm just up and I'm stuck, then okay, cool, whatever, we're going to be up. But I started doing my journaling first. And I wrote down, I have to get back to my affirmations from 2021. Now, with that, 2021, specifically spring of 2021, was when I realized I was struggling with worthiness. And that's when I went on my worthiness journey. I've shared that here with you guys before. So part of my protocol for my worthiness journey was every morning. And these things are so basic and minute, but when you're struggling with it and when you're in it, you don't see it that way. And it took everything in me. Get my dry erase marker in the morning, right? I am worthy. I am intelligent. I am capable, because those were things that I struggled with. Worthiness, me questioning my intelligence, and also my capability. Now, with that specific topic in this morning, I actually already recorded another podcast with that. So therefore, that one will probably go up before this one. In fact, it makes sense for that one to go up before this one. So I'll make sure that that's up beforehand. However, I don't want to touch base on that because all of that is loaded in the other episode. So if you haven't heard it, it'll be up before this one. Go check that episode out. So with me writing down all of that, I opened up my devotional, and hang on, because I got my Bible app right here on the iPad. And my current devotional that I am reading right now is, I didn't even realize. What? Okay. So I didn't even realize what the title of what this devotional was until just now. My mind is blown. So just in the Holy Bible app, Rocket says hello. He is, hey, listen. We're busy, all right? You got a word on your heart? You got something to tell the people? No? Rocket. Akabo. Now. Shayla. We are fine. So, the title of the devotional is Trust, Hustle, Rest. Didn't notice that. So, within today's devotional, there was a very specific passage, and this is when I got, hey, that's enough, buddy. This is when I got my aha moment, the moment of clarity, the light bulb, the breakthrough. This particular passage here, hold on, I gotta go back to my devotional. It says, in Proverbs 16, Solomon sets forth a sequence of trusting, hustling, and resting that should mark any endeavor we Christians pursue. There was something about the trust, the hustle, the rest. I don't know how I missed it yesterday, the day before, because that's when I started the devotional, but reading that just gave me so much comfort, gave me so much clarity. It just was like, oh, okay, work, I get it, I understand. Because let's face it, sometimes we be reading the Bible and we not taking it in. Like yesterday when I was reading, was it nothing getting through? Obviously nothing was getting through because I didn't even realize that was the name of the devotional that I was even reading. So with that, it made me realize, okay, you gotta trust first. All right? Trust first. Hustle. And the hustle aspect of it is very key because I spoke on this earlier today on my Instagram story. So if you saw it, you saw it. And if not, it's gone now. But I have been a victim of hustle culture for 11 years. I hate hustle culture. And I literally had this epitome today when I was walking my dogs. First of all, I understand I got to work on my trust because my trust is shaky, right? Secondly, hustle. I have been trying to remove myself from the hustle just simply because I realized I was still burnt out from all the hustling. Like, I had to exercise some grace. You have been hustling for 11 years. Why did you think that you would be okay and recovered in 2 weeks, in 2 months? In 6 months? It takes some time when you have truly reached the burnout phase. And a lot of people think that burnout is physical. Burnout is mental. Burnout, because the thing is, when you're tired physically, you can just lay down, you can rest and recover, but the mind is constantly going. And so when you have something going on and you're constantly thinking, the brain is constantly going, you mentally burn yourself out. So seeing trust, I understood I need to trust. And then seeing hustle, and I was like, hustle? You want me to hustle again? But then right after the hustle, it says rest. And then it dawned on me. Hustle is like stage lean. Hustle is not meant to be sustainable. Hustle is not meant to be a marathon. Stage lean is not meant to be a marathon. This literally came to me while I was walking. You guys, I'm so hype about it because it's just so good. It's so good. It's so good. And so understanding that, and the reason why I'm relating it to bodybuilding, because I know a good chunk of you are bodybuilders. And even if you're not a bodybuilder, I'm sure you can relate to it. But that was the correlation and how I was able to pull it together. Hustle should be a sprint. It should be a short period of time because hustle is not meant to sustain. You can't operate and hustle all the time because you will burn out. You will be overwhelmed. You will become anxious. And unfortunately, it can also cause depression. Anxiety and depression, y'all know those are two things I don't mess around with. Those two words are thrown around like a stripper's booty in a strip club going round and round. Like, what? No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Just because you have a moment of anxiety, it does not mean that you have an anxiety disorder. Being anxious, overwhelmed, those are feelings. There are emotions. But guess what? All your thoughts and emotions, baby, sometimes ain't true. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to understand. Most of the time when you were having those deep, dark thoughts and feelings and emotions, they are a lie from the pits of hell. They ain't true. And so when I saw rest next to hustle, it gave me so much peace because now I understand trust, hustle, rest, repeat. That rest is crucial because just like in bodybuilding, just like in growing muscle, we know that rest and recovery are key. If you don't get rest and recovery, you don't progress. You don't lose weight. You don't grow your muscle. Trust, hustle, rest, repeat. So now I understand. All right, God, I'm trusting you. Use me. Do what you gotta do with me. Tell me where to go. I'm gonna do it. I'm a hustle, God. I'm a hustle for you. I'm a hustle for you in my outlets, whether it be beauty, whether it be bodybuilding, whether it be health and nutrition. And then your girl gonna rest because with my time blocking, I have been intentional and set that boundary for myself, which is something I've always struggled with, especially in salon. I would come in early for a client, squeeze somebody in, or stay late. It's like, girl, if you was already working 9 to 7, why are you coming in early and why are you staying late? So respecting my boundary, putting that boundary down for me, because guess what? When 6 o'clock comes, and honestly, I'm feeling like I need to change it to 5. I might need to change it to 5. Yeah, because if I'm waking up at 5:30, yeah, when 5 o'clock comes, rest. To wrap this up, do not lean on your own understanding. I know it's hard when we're in the storm, when we're going through it, and we just want understanding. We just want to know why. All those things are natural. Those are natural thoughts and feelings. However, that is part of the spiritual journey with God. Of course, if you believe in God, whatever brings you comfort, okay? And trust. You got to trust the process. You just like in bodybuilding. You got to trust the process. You got to trust God. If you can find comfort in any of this that I have said, then that lets me know that my job here is done. The mission is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. so many gems, just so much clarity and so much aha moments. And here's the thing, even with all the clarity and the aha moments, that don't mean your girl still ain't gonna struggle. Okay? Like, I am still a human being. I still have thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I still have bad days. Sometimes your girl be down bad. However, like I always say, you gotta let those feelings be for a moment. One of the best things I have done for myself is journaling. It just, sometimes it's just a brain dump. And I just need to get it off my chest. Nobody reads it. And then sometimes I really, really, really am just shattered. I'm heartbroken. I'm scared. I'm worried, concerned, and I need to get that out. It is healthy to just sometimes get that stuff out, close it, and move on, because most of the time, y'all, we just want somebody to talk to. Let's keep it a buck. We just want someone to talk to, and to take a step deeper, we don't even want them to say anything in return. We just want someone to listen. You just want to feel seen. You just want to feel heard. You just want to feel understood. So if that is you, please know you are not alone in this. Trust, hustle, rest. All right? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode of Make Up Your Mind. Down below in the comments, I want to hear your thoughts, sound off on it. How are you feeling? How did you take this in? And then if you want to have a more intimate conversation, my DMs are always open. I am low-key debating getting like a text platform so I can like chat with y'all more. Again, I don't know. I don't want to open myself up to a whole nother thing and not have time to actually manage it. So maybe not. However, hit me up in the DMs. I'm always down to chat. Thank you so much for listening. Keep it simple and cast one more net.
This is too smooth. I honestly didn't even really want to say anything on this, but